Well, as the airstrikes are stepped up in Syria, more and more people try to escape the violence. Many cross the border into Turkey, where they remain in refugee camps. Let's speak now to Zeina Awad, who joins us now from Gaziantep in southern Turkey. Zeina?
Indeed, Imran, we are seeing it firsthand here. Syrians are continuing to cross the border. They're coming to refugee camps. They're coming to towns and cities such as Gaziantep. Earlier on Friday, we met with a family of 6 who have arrived here recently, earlier this week, and they came from Raqqa. They were escaping the airstrikes as well as Daesh control. Now, they came here illegally with smugglers with about 500 Syrians. They spent 4 days and 5 nights sleeping out in the open in the bitter cold. They were terrified, and when they finally got here, we managed to sit down and speak to the mother. Now, we have to have her identity in order to protect her. And we began by asking her why, after living under Daesh control for 2 years, did she and her family decide to finally leave Raqqa?
We left because of the airstrikes. We couldn't take it anymore. Airstrikes have intensified a lot over the last 2 to 3 months. An airstrike killed my 10-year-old cousin. The air pressure from the strike threw him against the wall. His head was split open and he died. You wonder, what has this child done to deserve this? Most of the casualties are civilians. A plane recently bombed a Daesh detention center. They took down 5 buildings around it. Each one of the buildings was destroyed and everyone inside was killed. When we spoke to our families last, they told us that Daesh has been taking the men. The young men of Raqqa, they have nothing to do with Daesh, but they are being forced to join them and forced to join their jihad. Perhaps Daesh is running out of fighters and they need to grow their ranks. A Daesh member usually comes first, then his family follows him, his wife and children. Some of them also marry local women from Raqqa, and they come from many countries: Russia, Saudi Arabia, Egypt, Tunisia. There are many countries. I can't keep count of all of them. Some of them come to fight and win and take over other areas. And some of the Daesh women work in morality enforcement. Their job is to flog the women who aren't abiding by Daesh's dress code.
A Syrian mother who just arrived here from Raqqa with her family, escaping Daesh control on the ground and airstrikes, American airstrikes, Russian, French airstrikes from the air. Now, the conditions are making life much more difficult and much more insecure for Syrians, impossible even, and that is why we're going to continue to see Syrians streaming over the border, escaping the war back home. And that's it from us here in Gaziantep. Imran, it's back to you in the studio.
Thanks so much for that, Zeina Awad.